नमस्कार, जय हिंद, जय भारत। आज हमारे साथ हैं राजा मुनीब साहब जो हमसे बात करेंगे भाई पाकिस्तान में एक बड़ा ही इंटरेस्टिंग सा डेवलपमेंट हुआ है। हम तो सब सोच रहे थे पाकिस्तान जाके बैठा है अमेरिका की गोदी के अंदर, बट यहाँ दिखता है कि अमेरिका इज़ आल्सो डूइंग स्टेप मदरली ट्रीटमेंट विद पाकिस्तान। उसने जाके आईएमएफ का लोन माँगा, पाकिस्तान को बोला चल भाग यहाँ से। कोई लिस्ट विस्ट में नाम नहीं है, स्टाफ लेवल एग्रीमेंट करके उनको जो भी थोड़ी-सी सैटिस्फैक्शन देनी थी वो दे दी, लेकिन भगा दिया उसके बाद। So what's happening here? Let's try and find out because Pakistan is going to get more and more interesting as the days go by. Namaskar ji, thank you for coming in.
Namaskar sir, thank you for having me once again.
बताओ सर ये क्या है? सडनली मैं तो सोच रहा था पैसों की बौछार होगी, भंगड़े-शंगड़े मिलेंगे, थोड़ा-सा सब कुछ होगा, बट यहाँ तो उसको बोल दिया फुट जा यहाँ से, भाग जा यहाँ से। एंड ऊपर से स्क्रू भी टाइट कर रहे हैं जाके आगे।
एक्चुअली पाकिस्तान को ना मुफ्तखोरी की आदत पड़ गई थी कि फ्री में पैसे आते थे, फ्री में सब कुछ मिलता था और वो करते थे। आज की डेट में मुफ्तखोरी का उनको कोई पैसा देना चाहता नहीं, to be very honest. And the Americans are not happy the way Pakistanis are delivering to them. They are not able to deliver their set plan. एक तो वो है। दूसरा ये है कि प्रॉब्लम आईएमएफ के साथ ये है कि आईएमएफ कंप्लीटली अमेरिकन कंट्रोल में है नहीं। देयर आर सम प्रीरिक्विजिट्स यू हैव टू फिल इन बिफोर यू एक्चुअली गेट द लोन, और वो सारा स्टॉल कर रहा है चाइना एंड सऊदी अरेबिया। सो चाइनीज कंपनीज ने बोला है कि हम रोल ओवर तो देंगे नहीं, which is a $2 billion plus rollover, right? Saudi Arabia is also not putting in $1.2 billion जो उनको काउंटर गारंटी चाहिए थी, and they were hoping कि Saudis उनकी हेल्प करेंगे. They have also refused, क्योंकि जो इन्होंने लॉलीपॉप साउदीज को इन्वेस्टमेंट का दिया था, that is not working. जो कराची पोर्ट का बेसिकली, हाँ वो लॉलीपॉप तो it's not working क्योंकि वो इक्वेशन बैठती नहीं है साउदीज के लिए. The Saudis say कि you put in 50% of the money, 60% Pakistan puts in, 40% will put. They are telling Saudis you put the 40% and then we'll put rest of the money. So the Saudis are not buying that because वहाँ उतना stake in port में, right? So second, Uncle Sam is also telling them unless and until you don't tighten your pants and work, we will not do anything. The Chinese have also told them unless and until you don't tighten your pant, we will not give you anything. So अब कितनी पतलूने पहन के कितनी पतलूनों को टाइट करेंगे सर, इनका प्रॉब्लम वही है. सो फिलहाल आईएमएफ का जो अगस्त एंडिंग में है उसमें तो पाकिस्तान एजेंडा पे है ही नहीं, देयर इज नथिंग हैपनिंग. सो नाउ दे आर ट्राइंग कि यूएई से ट्राई कर रहे हैं, तो दो बैंक से बात कर रहे हैं यूएई में टू गेट $2 billion फ्रॉम देम, बट उनके इंटरेस्ट रेट जो है वो डबल डिजिट्स में जा रहे हैं. एंड पाकिस्तान इज सेइंग इतनी हमारी औकात ही नहीं है, इट्स वे टू हाई. सो बेसिकली दैट इज अ नाइस वे ऑफ टेलिंग पाकिस्तान वी वोंट गिव यू अ लोन. Because in international conundrum, once you ask 12% or 13% interest rate, you know what the bank is trying to tell you. It's nicely telling you, please get out of here. I'm not interested in business with. But the Pakistanis are not getting the message.
नहीं, वो तो मिलेगा ही नहीं. अरे कैसे मिलेगा साहब?
वो उस पे हैगल कर रहे हैं कि नहीं ये बहुत ज्यादा है, इसको कम कर दो. But for now, their economy. See, I told you, Pakistan is on a drip. Americans will keep them on a drip. अभी उनके पास $7-8 बिलियन के रिजर्व हैं. जब तक वो वापस 3 बिलियन पे नहीं आएंगे, 2.75 बिलियन पे नहीं आएंगे, नेशनल क्राइसिस नहीं हो जाएगा पाकिस्तान में, तब तक अमेरिकन उनको और पैसा नहीं देंगे, क्योंकि दे आर नॉट डिलीवरिंग. सी, व्हाई शुड चाइनीज रोल ओवर? इट्स अ वेरी लॉजिकल क्वेश्चन. व्हाट हैव दे डिलीवर्ड टू द चाइनीज दैट चाइनीज वुड से ओके हम आपके लोन माफ कर या रोल ओवर कर देते? नहीं कर सकते ना. इन्होंने कुछ नहीं डिलीवर किया. इन्होंने उनको लॉलीपॉप दिया था अज़्म इस्तिसाम का, वो भी नहीं चेक कर पाए ये लोग. ठीक है, अमेरिकन को भी इन्होंने बोला हाँ हम आईसिस की गेम खेलेंगे और आईएसकेटी खेलेंगे और हमको 100 मिलियन चाहिए इस चीज के लिए, वो भी ले लिया. बट दे आर नॉट एबल टू पुश एनी एजेंडा ऑन द ग्राउंड whatsoever. Neither the Chinese nor the American. They stepped on two boats and the boats want them to drown. एक तरह से पैर खींच रहा है, दूसरी तरह से पैर खींच रहा है.
ये बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग सी कहानी है, क्योंकि आप बोल रहे हो अमेरिकन इससे डिलीवर नहीं कर पा रहे. अमेरिकन को क्या चाहिए वहां पर?
सर पहली चीज अमेरिकन को ये चाहिए कि चाइना का जो भी रोल है, जितना भी रोल है, उसको बाहर किया जाए. राइट, चाइनीज इंटरफेरेंस और बिजनेस इकोनॉमी खत्म हो जाए, सीपेक चाइना का बंद हो जाए. दूसरा अमेरिकन की जो गेम है वो यही है कि Pakistan actively fights, prepares fighters for Iran, and they try to get hold of the Islamic nation time ISIS game जो वो हम पहले से discuss करते आ रहे हैं. The Americans want that to happen. Second thing, Americans want Balochis out. Want Chinese out of Balochistan. Americans want the Chinese to be completely kicked out of Balochistan. So the Americans might be tightening their noose to an end where they will say, "ठीक है, तुम्हें, the Balochistan border, you give it to us and we take it away from the Chinese." And the Chinese know what the Americans are doing, so the Chinese are playing hardball. They are telling, "हम नहीं करते roll over, जाओ तुम क्या करोगे? IMF लोन नहीं दे सकता उसके बदले." So China, तो बीच में ये बेचारा पिस रहा है अमेरिका और चाइना की लड़ाई में. Great ally and an iron brother.
बेचारा तो किस एंगल से नहीं है.
बेचारा वो अपने आप को बेचारा ही बोल रहे हैं ना. वो कह रहे हैं हम बेचारे हैं. तो वो तो कह रहे हैं ना, हम तो बेचारा मुल्क है, हमारे पास तो कुछ भी नहीं बचा, तो हम क्या करें, हमको तो लोगों के पेट भरने हैं. This is what Shahbaz Sharif said 2 years ago, effectively to the media.
आज यूएन से एक स्टेटमेंट आया बलूचिस्तान के ऊपर.
A very interesting statement. It's exactly what Marang Baloch had basically demanded 2-3 weeks ago. And the UN has come across. So that tells you how much UN is interested in, US is interested in Balochistan. See, now what is happening is that US has realized that, the Chinese, Russians, and this just for your four axis power bolte, right? China, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. It's basically a 4-power axis. They have created enough problems for the Americans everywhere, and they are really challenging their world order. Now the Americans are now, tightening their screws around China and trying to, fight them and take their control back. So between Russia and China is Pakistan, right? So on the other side is Bangladesh, on the Bay of Bengal. Then now keep an eye on Indonesia. Things are not very good there. Malacca Strait could be another target. You never know.
नहीं, मलाका स्टेट तो यार आपको सिक्योर. अगर इफ आई एम अमेरिका, द फर्स्ट थिंग मेरे को करना पड़ेगा, ये चीज तो मैं लिटरली आई हैव सेड रिमलैंड ऑन फायर. ठीक है, अगर आप पूरा रिमलैंड देखो, वो पूरा आग की हुई है. एंड इस टाइम पे क्या हो रहा है, म्यांमार में भी बड़ी इंटरेस्टिंग सी डेवलपमेंट हुई है. चाइनीज का जो होल्ड है म्यांमार के अंदर, ये थोड़ा निकल रहा है. रामी जी हैज रिटन अ ब्यूटीफुल आर्टिकल. एक्चुअली मैं उनके साथ कल एक पॉडकास्ट कर रहा हूँ उसके ऊपर. आई एम रिकॉर्डिंग वन, तो मैं वीकेंड पे डालूंगा.
I read that piece. Yes.
So there is something happening there also. इंडोनेशिया में हो रहा है. मैंने आज सुबह इसके ऊपर एक 10 मिनट का अपडेट किया था. मलेशिया में सितंबर 2023 में एक प्रोटेस्ट हुआ. थाईलैंड में हो चुके हैं जबरदस्त प्रोटेस्ट. द टारगेट मेरे हिसाब से होगा उस रीजन में, अगर आप देखो तो लाओस एंड कंबोडिया.
Laos, Cambodia, and they want Bangladesh is already on their target. See, वो जो रामी जी का piece है, it's a very good piece, and yes, the Chinese junta पे उनका बड़ा control है, right? But अगर अब आप देखोगे ना, जो pushback आएगा वो बांग्लादेश से आएगा on the junta. वो आएगा आरसा से.
आ गया. मैंने आज दोपहर में बात करी इसके बारे में. 6 मिलियन.
हाँ, वो आएगा. हाँ, so वो आएगा आरसा से. वो आएगा Arakan regions, right? Now they will start claiming that. And that is where the clash will happen.
Sorry, मैं आपको इंटरजेक्ट कर रहा हूँ बार-बार, but there's been a clash between the so-called students and this force.
The Sham ko. So it will slowly pick up. So in next 1 year, we will see that suddenly Rohingya Muslims, the ARSA has started fighting them in Myanmar, junta in Myanmar. We'll see that control wahan jayega. So there will be a lot of game which will be played. But the problem with Pakistan is that, see, I am not buying this argument that, a lot of analysts are making that West doesn't care about Pakistan. You see a lot of people talking about it. You even see Americans talking about it, that we don't care about Pakistan, right? I don't buy that argument. I think they care a lot about Pakistan. And they don't care for Pakistan. They care about Pakistan because they have interests. So when the Americans themselves say, we don't care about Pakistan, be very, very, they actually want something to happen in Pakistan. they are seeing Pakistan as a next battleground to contain China. क्योंकि चाइना का भी अगर आप ईरान और रशिया का अगर आपको नेक्सस तोड़ना है और अगर you have to look at Gwadar port, which the Chinese think is very very important for them, right? If you want to stop the Chinese from coming into Central Asia and Middle East and increasing their influence the way Chinese want to do, then Gwadar becomes very very important. That is where you put the brakes on.
आपका ना
And they knew
I think the battery is going again. आप वो वाला दूसरा वाला लगा
Okay, you can't hear me? नहीं,
थोड़ा
it has 50%, more than 50%.
वो फिर I think quick charge में
It has to be network.
Probably
नहीं, network में कुछ issue ना हो.
Anyway, let's continue. मैं one of the biggest things बलोचिस्तान में है कि बलोचिस्तान makes an ideal base for the Americans. अगर आप देखो इंडियन ओशन को, अगर इंडियन ओशन में उनके इंटरेस्ट हैं जो पिवट टू एशिया और इंडियन ओशन के बारे में बात करते हैं, यू हैव टू हैव अ बेस इन द स्टार्टिंग ऑफ द इंडियन ओशन. आपने जिबूती में आपका बेस है, पाकिस्तान में होगा, उसके बाद आपको इस रीजन में चाहिए जो बंगाल के अंदर आप कोशिश कर रहे हो. इट इज नॉट अ फीजिबल बेस, ऑल्दो यूएस नेवल इसने सब कुछ लिख दिया है, एक आर्टिकल भी लिख दिया है, ये सब कुछ कर दिया है एंड ऑल दैट स्टफ. बट अगर उस तरफ जाना है आपको तो यहाँ पर तो कुछ चाहिए, तो उसके लिए बलोचिस्तान बिकम्स वेरी क्रिटिकल, राइट?
बलोचिस्तान बिकम्स हाईली क्रिटिकल.
ये क्या होने वाला है बलोचिस्तान का? बिकॉज हम लोग सोच रहे थे कि भाई केपीके पहले टूटेगा, ये टूटेगा, वो टूटेगा. आर वी करेक्ट इन असेसमेंट अबाउट बलोचिस्तान नॉट गोइंग ऑफ फर्स्ट?
Balochistan not going off first, we are correct in our assessment. See, Adi, I've been saying that the first thing which will go is KPK. How will Americans ensure that? My network is jittery today. I don't know why. Something is not right. It's disconnecting again and again, but that's okay. How do Americans effectively make sure that that Balochistan stays in their control? America can't do what they did in Afghanistan. They can't make Afghanistan a base and come and fight into Balochistan, right? They're not going to do that. The Americans will only do if they weaken the Pakistani establishment to an extent where the Taliban, with American support, is strong enough to control large part of Pakistan. The Islamists are able to take control of Pakistan. Pakistan loses its, ability to be a strong state, and all these areas become autonomous regions within Pakistan. Right? So the Pakistani establishment control has to shrink quite a lot. So what else can they do? And see, the Americans, I think Americans have one more assessment which nobody is talking about. See, the Chinese are extremely good when it comes to proxy war, and they're playing that with the Americans in Ukraine, they're playing it in Middle East, they're playing everywhere. But what we have not seen from the Chinese is any commitment to put the boots on the ground, to commit to a conflict directly. Now, apart from Taiwan, because if you look at the Chinese exercises which are happening in Taiwan, right, this is the only base which is very close to their home, where they're confident enough that if they launch a military attack, they actually might be able to hold it off. But apart from that, they have not shown any commitment anywhere in the region. They have not, their CPEC is about to go. They have not woken up to that idea. Unless and until they have a MasterCard behind their hands and they're going to secure it, I don't see that happening. They have made a deal with Afghanis and they will do that, right? They might do it with Taliban. They might, reroute it to Afghanistan, might happen. But if you are a weak state, if you are weak in a way you cannot protect yourself when it comes to high stake games, and Americans, I think, have sensed this, that let's test them out. How much willing China is to, actually go ahead and protect its assets where it really matters. The Chinese are playing extreme hardball with Pakistan. So everybody was assuming the Americans will not give money, Chinese will be showering, and the Pakistanis also thought, America नहीं देगा तो China तो हमारे साथ लगा ही हुआ है, ये तो हमको America की तरह front roll करता रहेगा, and we'll keep on playing our games. But the Chinese have shown a lot of constraint with Pakistanis when dealing with them, saying that, it has to be on a equal footing. If you don't deliver, we don't deliver. So they have kind of walked back on Pakistan. Now the Pakistanis are trapped. Now the Pakistanis don't know what to do. Because now the Chinese are saying, we are the masters, you are the slaves. Pakistanis are not ready to play the slaves because Pakistanis know they play the slave here. Their big master America starts whipping them off. Then what do the Pakistanis?
No, ये बड़ी
So
इंटरेस्टिंग
Pakistanis are
सिनेरियो है
they're
क्योंकि
caught in their own bear trap.
अमेरिका ने
I believe
America has just given $100 million to the Pakistanis to fight a Chinese war right now.
yeah, 100 million is nothing to fight a war. No, 100 million is to fight an insurgency. For an insurgency amount, it is. I think Lashkar-e-Taiba has more money than that. 100 million is not a very big deal to fight an army. Kuch bhi nahi hai. In today's day and age, $100 million will finish off in 1 week. LAT will have more in its reserves. So Pakistanis are trapped in their own bear trap. They thought they are the bear, they will trap the bears on either sides. They got in that trap themselves. The problem is 100 million से करेंगे क्या वो? And अच्छा ठीक है आपने 100 million ले भी लिया. अब आपने 100 million, अब कहाँ पता है ये जो 100 million लिया उसी में से जो 60 billion rupees ने चाइनीज ने डंडा मारा है तो ये 60 billion वहां दे रहे हैं कि अब हम ऑपरेशन आज़म इस्तेकाम उसी से लड़ रहे हैं. और have the Chinese given them 60 billion rupees and said कि जाओ लड़ो या हमको रिजल्ट दो तभी हम कुछ कर सकते हैं तुम्हारे लिए. But see, the Pakistan's problem is what is Pakistan fighting? What will Pakistan fight? Pakistan for last 40 years created this narrative of Islam radicalization, prepared Taliban, said Taliban is, Islam ki jeet. They called, when Taliban took control in Afghanistan, Pakistan is on record saying it is victory for Islam. How does it look for Pakistan to go and fight the same victory of Islam within its own radicalized society and its own people and its own terror organizations? Pakistanis don't have the will to fight.
That will be the day.
They're caught on so they're caught on they're caught in their own narrative. Now, anything they will do against Taliban, anything they do against them, they will be, labeled and they will be labeled as American puppets.
Which they are already.
They will be highly unpopular. They have a political instability. They are not able to deal with Imran Khan. They're trying their best. They got Faiz Hameed. They are thinking of putting Imran into jail. They might do anything with Imran Khan, but that see, even if you put Imran Khan away from the rest of your life, the damage he has done to the establishment, the narrative he has put into the people's head, and the way people is looking at Pakistani military, do they really think by, getting rid of Imran Khan and PTI, whole that psyche of the people is going to change? Absolutely not.
चुप हो जाएंगे यार.
That psyche is still going to be there. चुप हो जाएंगे ना, but popular तो नहीं बनेंगे ना. They will not be the glorious Pakistani Fauj, number one Fauj of Pakistan once again. Na? They again will be very fragmented. So on a political front, they are fragmented. On they are fighting Islam on one end. They're going to raise forces for fighting Islam, the Islam they wanted in Afghanistan. And the Taliban is saying that we want to, initiate, set up Islam in Pakistan. So who is going to win in this Islamic fight? Who is the real Muslim here? Are the Afghanis the real Muslim? Or are the Pakistanis the real Muslim? Are they now going to say that Taliban is not the victory of Islam, but they are the American puppets?
Actually speaking, you don't know who's the American puppet वहाँ पर. दोनों को equal पैसे मिलते हैं महीने में. Actually, Afghanistan gets more money.
See, the Afghans have their own problem. That is why the ISKP is there. No, but the problem is that the Afghanis are not doing anything to either piss off the Americans or something. They're being very silent. They're dealing with Americans, they're dealing with Chinese, and with a lot of heft and with a lot of patience, right? The Pakistanis are jumping from one ship to another ship. One day they get up on an American ship. Second day they are back into the Chinese ship. Third day they are fighting with the Iranians. Fourth day they're making love with the Iranians. They're in bed with the Iranians. Pakistan is a monkey who's gone loose in a circus. He doesn't know which branch to hang on to, want to jump to. This monkey has lost the plot. It's as simple as that.
Ismail, how does Faiz Hameed connect into all this stuff? Because Faiz Hameed ka, if you see the arrest that has taken place, it's a very interesting point of time. ठीक है, we discussed nuclear button दबा दिया इसने, ये कर दिया वो कर दिया, all that we've discussed. It's a very interesting point of time क्योंकि and अभी ये लोग जो बातें कर रहे हैं, approver की ये वो and this and that, They are talking about Imran Khan का क्या future है. They are talking about judiciary, by the way. Judiciary को कैसे fix किया जाए. ठीक है. तो इसके पत्ते तो कम ही कम होए जा रहे हैं. And Faiz Hameed का आपको, how do you think this thing is going to proceed forward? Because Faiz Hameed also has a lot of secrets यार. कहीं उसने बोलना
There's
शुरू
one
कर दिया.
See, Faiz Hameed is going to play a wait and watch game. He's going to see what Imran Khan will do politically, right? So a lot will depend on Faiz forward moves, how effectively Imran still holds that imagination which they think. By the way, Aj Diesel has met Maulana Fazlur Rahman, who's known as Diesel, has met Zardari, had gone to meet him.
देखो उसको तो लेके आना है ना इस तरफ. उसने बोल दिया है कि
नहीं
मैं
उसको इस तरफ नहीं.
But
there are a couple of rumors going on. One is going on that they want to give extension to the Supreme Court judge. Isa ko they want to give an extension. So shayad uske liye, which is going to be a problem. Second is that they want to bring some bills in which they want, they say ki even if he doesn't support Imran Khan, he should not be against us also. He should be neutral, which Imran Khan says only Janwar is neutral, right? So Imran will be quick to label him Janwar in that case. Neutrality पे बोलेगा से जानवर neutral होता है, जो उसने बाजवा को बोला था. But Faiz Hameed, Diesel also knows that he doesn't have a lot of sway left for him to call the shots. He was effectively packed up in KP in last elections, and he literally disappeared. He went to Afghanistan and they told him, shut up, go back, sit quietly, and that's exactly what he did. और उसके बाद ये केपी में दिखा नहीं, इसकी पार्टी दिखी नहीं वहां पर. So that tells you how much sway the Afghan Taliban holds over.
We lost you. That tells you how much sway the Afghan Taliban
has over Diesel, over JUIF.
Diesel तो भैया character है.
I think Faiz will also wait and watch. बहुत बड़ा character है वो पाकिस्तान का. अब फैज हमीद का भी यही रहेगा कि वो इमरान का रिएक्शन देखेगा. नाउ दे हैव कॉल्ड फॉर प्रोटेस्ट ऑन September 8. देखो अगर तो इमरान खान इस 8 सितंबर, आई थिंक देयर इज नेगोशिएशन गोइंग ऑन. दैट इज व्हाई इमरान पुल्ड ऑफ, एंड देयर इज फैक्शन पीटीआई इटसेल्फ व्हिच इज सेइंग कि वी आर नॉट हैप्पी विद द पोस्टपोनमेंट ऑफ व्हाट हैज हैपेंड. हां, हर सिस्टर एंड दे आर crashing on this कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए, because I think they have different ideologies regarding this. But I think behind the scenes there is still some negotiation going on, right? But अगर तो पीटीआई वाले 8 सितंबर को बाहर आते हैं तो Faiz will hold ground because Faiz is playing long shots with Imran. But if PTI falters, then maybe Faiz will say, okay, यार मुझे क्यों मरना है? I'll turn an approver. I'll say, yes, Imran Khan was the one who did that, and they will put Imran inside. But that is also not going to help.
यहाँ पर एक प्रॉब्लम है. They'll get some guy to turn approver against Faiz before that.
They might do that, but who is going to be that guy? See, there is a list of 40 people who they want to lift up. 4 को इन्होंने उठाया. 4 को क्यों ज्यादा उठाए हैं? 3 आर्मी वाले उठाए हैं, फैज को उठाया है, 6 को इन्होंने अदियाला जेल से उठाया जिसमें 3 औरतें हैं. 8 को 8 of them have been picked up from the jail. 8 or 10 something is the number, out of which 3 are women. They are वो जेल का स्टाफ, राइट? अभी तो इन्होंने इतना कोई उठाया, अभी 30 एक और रहते हैं, अभी 28-30 लोग और रहते हैं, राइट? Even if they are able to make them an approver, see, the problem is Imran is one step ahead of them. Imran already put this in people's mind, this is the route they will take and this is what they will do. And every step they do, it just confirms what Imran Khan had told them कि ये साजिश है, ये साजिश के अंदर ऐसे 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 चलेंगे. The problem is, how do you gain the trust of the Pakistani citizens back today? That is the question which is in front of the Pakistani army. And Pakistani army doesn't have an answer to that question. Their only answer to that is more force, more repression. Right? Now, the other problem is that if you look at the Pakistani economy, it's tanking, and the way they have gone and banned internet, the Pakistanis are up in arms saying that we are losing money because internet is not working. We are completely losing money on this. So they don't have a plan where they can put Imran Khan, they can politically finish him off in a sense from the imagination of people, and they can gain that trust in people. Now, if they have to gain that trust, then they have to do something in KP. They have to give some kind of, give and take. They're not willing to do that because the Chinese won't let them do that. The Americans won't let them do that. So यहाँ भी मार खा रहे हैं, वहां भी मार खा रहे हैं. मतलब what do they do? They're stuck. So Pakistan is dying its own death. The hangman made the news and then he tested it on himself, and the hangman is in his own news. That is what has happened. He wanted to test the news, he got stuck in his own news.
Yeah. Funny thing about this story is that if you look at it in another, थोड़ा सा different angle से देखें इसको, चाइना को अभी इस टाइम पे चाहिए होगा सर्वाइवल, किसी तरह से ग्वादर पकड़ के रखो, बिकॉज सी एट द एंड ऑफ इट इफ यू लुक एट इट द ऊपर वहां पर खुंजराब बॉर्डर इज क्लोज्ड, ठीक है, एंड टू ऑल द व्यूअर्स वी डिस्कस दिस विद ऑन मंडे विद कल नजर रैना, हमने बात करी थी, खुंजराब इज क्लोज्ड, केपीके के बीच में झगड़े चल रहे हैं, आज वो सी लिंक रोड है जो इनकी ग्वादर के अंदर, उसके ऊपर बलोचों ने काफी एक्शन करा है, खोद खाद के बराबर कर दिया, एक आधा कुछ आग वाग भी लगाई है उधर पे, समथिंग हैज हैपेंड देयर. So there's a,
अरे सर, आज शाम को साउथ वजारिस्तान में 3 SSG कमांडोज आर डेड, 7 आर इंजर्ड इंक्लूडिंग एन ऑफिसर. उन्होंने SSG वालों को भेजा था, उनको लपेट दिया. ये अभी हुआ है, अबाउट एन आवर, मुश्किल से 1-1.5 घंटा हुआ होगा. So ये भी ऐड कर लो आज का जो एक्शन है उसको लेकर. 3 ये अभी कह रहे हैं, पाकिस्तानीज आर सेइंग 3. आई एम टेलिंग यू इट विल बी मच मोर. So उन्होंने एक यूनिटी उनकी साफ कर, 10 बंदों की यूनिट थी, वो SSG कमांडोज की, वो साफ हो.
बिकॉज चाइना का इंटरेस्ट रहेगा कहीं ना कहीं, जितना होल्ड कर सकते हो वो करके रखो, बिकॉज दिस ग्वादर इज अ स्ट्रेटेजिक लोकेशन, एंड अगर आपको यूएस को थोड़ा हैरेस करना है, यू कैन डू दैट थ्रू ग्वादर, ठीक है, आप वहां से कर सकते हो. तो how long will the Chinese actually hold on to this?
Not only that you want to harass. I think Xi Jinping's career is based on this. His future is based on this, because BRI is his idea, it's his brainchild. That is what he is surviving on. It is the BRI which basically Xi Jinping thought is going to make the great China, and CCP backs him up. If Gwadar falls, Xi Jinping is over in China. He's finished. Gaya wo. So it's a matter of survival for the Chinese CCP. Now, will Chinese come into Pakistan? And if they come into Pakistan, Americans are saying very good. No, if they come, Americans तो are waiting.
वो तो बैठे हुए हैं, जो 20-30-40 हजार जो बैठे हैं चाइनीज, दे आर सिटिंग देयर, इनके ट्रूप्स बैठे हुए हैं, इनके जहां पर वेट एंड सीज, नहीं, wherever the Chinese fighters are there, active नहीं है, but they're there.
But if Chinese get actively involved into this, the Americans are going to lick their tongues and rub their hands and say, this is what we wanted. This is why I said, the role has reversed in this area. Pakistan will be the new Afghanistan. New Afghanistan will be the new Pakistan. वही होगा, और क्या होगा? रोल चेंज हो जाएगा. वहां अमेरिकन पिटते थे, यहाँ चाइनीज के साथ होगा.
अब आएगा मजा.
That is where the Chinese are. The Chinese have to decide what they want to do. Chinese are in trouble, sir.
नहीं, Chinese are in trouble, वो तो पता ही है. Now, they're fretting what's happening in Bangladesh, because अभी बांग्लादेश के साथ क्या है, अगर आप हटे वहां से, तो यू सेंडिंग अ वेरी बैड मैसेज कि भाई तुमको किसी कंट्री से अमेरिका ने निकाल दिया, तुम कुछ कर भी नहीं पाए वहां पर.
वैसे भी उनका कंट्रोल वहां है नहीं. अब वो क्या कोशिश करेंगे? वो कोशिश करेंगे.
यूनुस से मिला है, और यूनुस ने क्या बोला उसको पता है? अपनी ना सोलर की फैक्ट्रीज बांग्लादेश में लगा दो.
मैं वही आपको कह रहा हूँ ना, सोलर तो वो मांग रहे हैं उनसे, बट आप ये देखो कि हाउ विल द चाइनीज डील विद द बांग्लादेशी इस्लामिस्ट्स.
You'll be worried, यार. एक और
they despise the Islamists. They'll be worried. ठीक है. The only way they can do it is through Pakistan. Pakistanis they don't trust at all. They know what Pakistanis are capable of. उल्लू बनाएंगे. So the Chinese are also trapped in Bangladesh. Chinese don't have a lot of leeway. Everybody who thinks that China is going to gain out of this, Chinese are losing in this. So the Chinese will be, Chinese should be shit worried that what is happening with them. China should, now the Chinese might get very aggressive on Taiwan. Either they'll get aggressive on Taiwan, but it will become very difficult for them to save Gwadar. So they have to make a choice. Either they want Taiwan or they want Gwadar. Either of the two. It cannot be both.
ताइवान भी नहीं बचा यार, वो भी हो गया.
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, मतलब they have to now make a choice what they want first.
I am quite positive पाकिस्तान
What do they want to say?
I am quite positive पाकिस्तान को ये पैसे मिल जाएंगे. September, October, they will get this money. But the sheer factor
November, December.
हाँ, sheer factor कि अमेरिकन ने झटका मारा है इनको. This is something which is very interesting, क्योंकि they should tell the Pakistanis कि बेटा तुम गोदी में बैठे हो, लेकिन तुम पूरी गोदी में नहीं बैठे. यहाँ पर the conversation between Shehbaz Sharif and what's his name, Yunus, has been very simple. कि साहब, please help us. Yunus is telling Shehbaz Sharif, please help us kind of work with the loans of the Chinese.
See, Yunus might be thinking, but Yunus doesn't. Yunus thinks that, because Pakistanis have portrayed themselves as relationship with the Chinese, what Yunus doesn't realize is that his economy is going to be exactly like the Pakistani economy very soon. If they continue the way they are continuing. If they muck around the way they are mucking around, their economy is going to be worse than Pakistan's. And then both of them will be sitting at the doors together, Yunus and Shehbaz Sharif, begging the Chinese and the Americans, please, isme kuch dal do katore mein. He'll be sitting like this with a katora. This is what will happen to them. Right? The Bangladeshis are so right now euphoric that they are thinking the loans we have taken from China, we should not, we should return them. The money we have to give Russia, we will not give them on time. Because they are under that American influence of,
हाँ, अभी 3 billion आ रहे हैं. They will get 3 billion.
So that has made them like they think that they are the kings. What they don't realize is when you trap a mouse, you throw a cheese, a hefty piece of cheese. So this mouse is biting on cheese and thinking that I'm becoming a cheese. Once he bites that cheese, then he knows that he's in the trap, and then he's starved to death. That is exactly what will happen to Bangladesh.
He's already bitten the cheese. By the way, 3 days ago, Economic Times, I won't name who, I'm sure you would know. Economic Times put out an article that Chinese MSS and ISI have tricked India into a failure in Bangladesh. And I was holding my head and I was like, yaar, ye log pagal hain kya yaar? Kya ho rakha hai?
I don't give two hoots for Economic Times, right? Honestly, ET's reporting is so bad. They are so biased in their own assessments that, I don't want to call those names, but honestly saying that, it doesn't matter what they say. Honestly, I don't look at ET and say them, it doesn't mean shit. Crap to me. It's like propaganda. FT, ET, doesn't matter.
थोड़ा सा बैठ के ना, I was just doing some time pass. So I just
ठीक है.
ये क्या है?
Do you remember the kind of article? Do you remember? Adi, do you remember the kind of articles which were written when Taliban took control in Afghanistan? Do you remember the kind of rhetoric, articles, comments, social media, how it was talking about, how much we have lost and how we are in despair and we are going to be dead and everybody is going to be walking all over us, right? On the contrary, we know what's happening and where we are today. So let's not worry about, these people, what they talk about. I'm seriously not worried about.
So last thing मैं आपसे पूछूंगा that if you look at the sheer factor of अभी ये जो situation चल रही है and अभी तालिबान से इतना कुछ मोटा there's not been a big बन्नू type incident, ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ है थोड़े टाइम से, शांति है, ठीक है, और ये शांति means कहीं ना कहीं ठंग करके आएगा, वो collect होते हैं ना, they collect their troops and this and that, supplies आती हैं and then they go this तरफ.
अभी मारे तो हैं, अफगान तालिबान ने तो मारा इनको, अभी तो मारा अफगान तालिबान ने इनको वज़ीरिस्तान में, ये 6 एसएसजी वाले,
2-4-6 is not very important for Pakistan, no? जब वो 10-12-20 पे जाता है तब.
But it is the Afghan Taliban who has hit them on the border of Waziristan.
how do you think the North is going to go? Because that's where my focus is going to be. क्योंकि अमेरिकन्स अगर कुछ देखिए ऐसा है, अमेरिकन्स वुड वांट टू डू अ कंप्लीट चेकमेट टू चाइना. ये जो रोड बन चुकी है वहां पर इन वखान, व्हाटएवर डस्ट रोड और व्हाटएवर हैज बीन मेड, दैट इज अ क्राइसिस पॉइंट फॉर द अमेरिकन. सो अगर चेकमेट आपको करना है तो पाकिस्तान से निकालना है, यू नीड टू टेक देम आउट फ्रॉम देयर आल्सो.
तो वखान से इनको निकालना पड़ेगा ना. अभी तो पाकिस्तानी आर्मी कैप्चर्ड वन पोस्ट है, राइट? मतलब तालिबान आर रिएक्टेड टू इट. Now you're seeing what is happening in Waziristan because of that. Right now they are setting up roadblocks. They will literally cut that area off from the Pakistanis. So the first thing is you cut that area off, and TTP is a very useful tool for them, right? So they will cut that off. Now the वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ, the Pakistanis are in a conundrum. The Americans are playing the TTP and the Americans are playing the ISKP. The Americans are very happy what TTP is doing with them on the Wakhan corridor and on the CPEC, and the Americans are equally happy that Pakistan is raising ISK. So that sums it up. Essentially sums up what the Americans are doing.
कितना टाइम आगे जाएगा ये किसी को कुछ पता नहीं है, बट इट्स गोना बी एन इंटरेस्टिंग गेम गोइंग फॉरवर्ड. गाइस जरा लाइक करो वीडियो को, सब्सक्राइब करो, एंड लेट्स काइंड ऑफ गेट इनटू सम क्वेश्चंस. आपके थोड़े सवाल जवाब, कमेंट्स, लेट्स टेक सम ऑफ दोस. मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंटली, या आई एग्री विद जैस साहब, देयर आर 2500 पीपल वाचिंग यार. कम से कम 899 लाइक्स, 50% तो बनता ही है, 1200 तो क्रॉस करना ही है. तो प्लीज हिट द लाइक बटन. 900 हो गया है, थैंक यू, बट प्लीज हिट द लाइक बटन रियली हार्ड सो दैट दिस शो गोज टू इट्स राइटफुल प्लेस व्हिच इज इन फ्रंट ऑफ अ लॉट ऑफ पीपल. आप लोग इस चैनल की तरफ कंट्रीब्यूट भी कर सकते हैं यूजिंग द क्यूआर कोड जो आपके स्क्रीन के ऊपर है, या फिर पेपैल व्हिच इज द लिंक इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन फॉर डायरेक्ट कंट्रीब्यूशंस, या फिर सुपर स्टिकर, सुपर चार्ज के साथ भी आप कंट्रीब्यूट कर सकते हैं. Let's see, Anita G and STPT, thank you so much for becoming a member. Interesting name. Ashish Jain ji, thank you. I agree with Raja Muneeb. America is playing like an underground river in Pakistan. It will not completely leave its hand on Pakistan. What do you say?
Thank you, Ashish ji, for agreeing with that. I agree. I told you I don't buy that. The Americans are not interested in Pakistan.
Yeah.
Americans are very much interested in Pakistan.
Ashish Jain sahab, thank you. Can they give capital punishment to Faiz?
I don't think so. If they have to give capital punishment, they have to give it to Imran Khan. But look, if they give capital punishment to Faiz, the Pakistani army is going to be in trouble, because you have to understand how a DGISI has its own assets and how they work. It's not going to be easy to hang a general. Pakistan has never hanged a general. But they've killed them in an air crash. That is something else. But a serving general can be killed in an air crash, so that can happen. You never know, accidents can happen. But they're not going to hang him. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, they wanted to kill it. When they wanted to kill a general, they killed the American representative also, no?
Yeah. They killed the American representative because that American representative was anyway half jihadi, very, very much in favor of jihad.
You killed a bloody American.
Condoleezza Rice's husband, I forgot his name. उसका husband था ना?
हाँ, अच्छा उसका husband था, ये नहीं पता मेरे को यार.
Yeah, his husband.
That makes a lot of sense. Ashish Jain sir, once again, thank you. Gwadar is critical for China for its energy needs. Actually, no, sir.
It is very critical.
Not.
It is not for its
energy.
Not for energy needs. Not energy needs. No. How does it serve Chinese energy needs? It doesn't. It serves Chinese security needs. It's very important for Chinese security things. See, Gwadar was never business viable, economically viable for the Chinese to do business from that. The whole idea of developing Gwadar was for the Chinese to put a navy fleet there so that they can then respond in the Indian Ocean. The problem with Chinese is, and they had this BRI which was going right till Central Asia, and they wanted that dominance of both economic and military dominance. The problem today with China is that yes, it's very very important. I'm telling you that if Gwadar falls, Xi Jinping goes, CCP falls in China. That is how critical it is for them. But the Chinese are not showing any intent to protect it
See,
for now. The Chinese are very quiet on this. So we have to be very careful of what the Chinese are going to do.
I'll tell you another thing, because a lot of people have this misconception that you want to take energy, oil वहां से. Oil transport करना, firstly, to 6,000 meters up is not possible. Secondly, that transportation route जो बनाया है इन लोगों ने, that is for your military use. Thirdly, if you have to transport oil, firstly you need to heat it. ठीक है, you can't transport cold crude oil, उसको heat करके रखना पड़ता है. तो and temperature control लेके जाना पड़ता है. So the kind of cost that is involved to carry a truckload of oil till there, it is just mind-boggling.
No, it is much cheaper for the Chinese to transport oil from the South China Sea than from this side. These costs are not working economically. It is not viable. No.
Absolutely correct, sir. 1 second. Yeah. Sarvani ji, thank you. You say Taliban still eyeing on Karachi port?
Absolutely. 110%. The Taliban would want the Karachi port. It's critical for their survival. It's critical for Afghanistan's stability that Karachi port is under Taliban control. If Taliban wants to rule for a very long time, that is.
Sir, it's very difficult to find the money trail with Pakistani politicians, Ukraine politicians from IMF. Even Russia cannot expose that money trail. That's true.
See, the Pakistani money trail is actually as exposed as it is. Whose money trail do you want? It's all over the internet. The Pakistanis keep on putting out details themselves कि उसका पैसा उधर है, उसका पैसा उधर है. Panama Papers leak पढ़ लो, उसमें आपको सब कुछ मिल जाएगा.
The real dirty stuff. The terrorism and this and that.
Yeah, real dirty stuff. Well, then you are looking at the wrong place. It's not the Pakistani politician. Then you need to go after the journalists and look at their investments. Look at this Bajwa's investment in Canada. If you want to find the dirty money, don't find it with the politician. Look for the journal. The journal will tell you where the money is, because they hold that game. Not the politicians don't hold it. You're looking at the wrong place. That's why you're not able to find it.
Yeah. दिव्यांका जी, सर, कोई रेलवे ट्रैक उड़ा दिया अभी अननोन पर्सन ने बलूचिस्तान में.
It's a normal thing. They keep on blowing up these gas pipelines and everything. Railway track कौन सा उड़ाया?
एक वो है बलूचिस्तान में, एक कोई इंटरकनेक्टिंग टाइप है.
अच्छा, वो नीचे, हाँ वो नीचे वाला. हाँ ठीक है. वो नॉर्मल है. It's a very common thing.
पाइपलाइन उड़ाई है अभी तेल की.
पाइपलाइन का तो मुझे पता है. पाइपलाइन तो वो करते रहते हैं सब कुछ. उसको मुझे पता है.
Ashish Jain साहब, thank you. We all know BRI is going through our POK. Are Chinese forces in POK?
Yes, 12,000 approx. That's the number. They are.
They've got their people in Skardu. They've got their people on the road, literally protecting all their dams and stuff like that. Hydroelectric projects जो हैं वो ही control कर रहे हैं.
They were down till Muzaffarabad, sir.
Yeah.
Almost. Yeah.
Smith Shahi, sirs, what is the role of ISI in Trump's assassination? बंदे पकड़े.
Please don't give ISI so much.
नहीं.
Please don't. वो कौन
पाकिस्तानी पकड़े.
अच्छा, वो वाला.
हाँ.
वो दूसरा वाला. हाँ, वो जो ईरानियन, वो जो पाकिस्तानी पकड़ा इन्होंने, ईरानियन उसपे.
पाकिस्तानी.
That was a failed attempt, no? Yeah, that was a Pakistan. I thought he was talking about the first assassination attempt. That was the American deep state. The American deep state failed, and they thought the stupid Pakistanis will be able to do it, but they were not able.
आज क्या दिल्ली में बारिश हो रही है क्या?
क्या नाम था उसका? नाम भूल गया. नहीं सर, बारिश तो नहीं है. No rain.
नेटवर्क हिला हुआ है पूरा. Anyways,
आज थोड़ा सा जिटरी है for some reason.
Chris Komo साहब, thank you. Hello Adi sir, Raja sir. I will be turning 45 in 2030. On a serious note, will Pakistan completely disintegrate by them? Buddy, buy a bottle of Jägermeister and keep it, and I'm sure you'll be drinking over the dead body of Pakistan.
2030, yeah, because the American plan for China of 2030, I can think that Pakistan will be, yeah, pretty much rolling over in its grave,
Hmm.
almost to
Atul
be
Singh
rolled over.
sir,
धक्का मारने की ज़्यादा धक्का मारना होगा उसको.
uh, saw TTP collecting toll taxes in North Waziristan in a video today.
They are doing it for a very long time. It's been a month. They are just setting more and more checkposts and collecting more and more taxes. They started collecting taxes about 3 months back. 3 महीने से चल रहा है. It's just that they are now area domination बढ़ रहा है उनका. वो और नीचे नीचे आते जा रहे हैं.
Hmm. Zez Saab कहते हैं Uncle Sam is poking in power projects of Pakistan to use Pakistan coal to stop payments to Jingo noodles. And IMF stopped 7 billion. By the way, a Pakistan IA arrested for fueling UK riots. Oh, illegal immigrant. Really? I didn't
That
know
we don't
that.
know of.
Acha?
UK
क्या
rights
बात कर रहे
online.
हो?
हाँ, नहीं. I know what he's talking about. Do you know that Pakistani police just picked up somebody saying that he was instigating UK riots by doing this online, जो उन्होंने वो US citizens के साथ भी किया free speech पे and all that.
वाह,
So there was
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
this guy. So there was this guy in Pakistan who was doing the same. He was running this Twitter account and Facebook account, and he was trying to push a lot of content. So he got arrested in Pakistan because apparently, he was doing that. He was talking, against what was happening there. तो उसको लेके उसको लपेटा उन्होंने.
Gosh sakes.
Yeah.
But
I know this
you
case.
know you heard that threat call ना Australia वाला ISA का?
Oh, that is. Tell me which country does that with civilian यार. मतलब this is dictatorship and शर्म नहीं आती अमेरिका को और ये ना इनको कि ये लोग they can call it out and say what is happening. They don't utter a word of what Pakistan does to its citizens.
And worst part is वो बंदा उसके भाई को मार रहे हैं. That guy held his nerve, yeah.
I must, I was in awe for the guy, the way he calmly handled that ISA agent. He negotiated with him and the way he proceeded with him. I mean, that boy man was something. He had some balls.
Me in that position, मैं बाद में सोच रहा था I would have given up the Twitter account and stuff like that. This guy didn't give up the Twitter account. He reduced that from 30 days to 5 days. And 5 days में भी end में बोलता मैं सोचूंगा तो पहले मेरे भाई को छोड़ के आ वहां पर एक tweet delete करिए.
So that man has some balls, honestly.
That was a crazy call. I mean, Ashish Jain Saab, thank you. Can we grab a hold of our land back if Pakistan collapses? Sir, if you find a
Please
way,
wait.
Keep the population away, तब थोड़ा easy रहेगा. Otherwise, बहुत problem होगी.
Please wait. Don't be in a hurry to grab the land back. Land has a lot of problems. It's not a very fertile land.
Tree with Bangladesh becoming hotbed of terrorism, wouldn't it give Pakistan more power on the geopolitical stage, allowing them to more time to stabilize?
No, because the more Bangladesh becomes the hotbed of terrorism, the more use of Pakistan goes away. It's as simple as that. The more quickly Pakistan dies. It won't give Pakistan any time.
Shailendra Gaur ji कहते हैं, Muneeb ji, does excitation be the target of US area to complete choke to China? My guess, 2 targets including Bharat, your view?
I don't see Aksai to be a target. No, I only see that what Americans are trying to do is they're creating a naval kind of a blockade for the Chinese. They want to play the naval supremacy game in the region. They are not going to go beyond that. So no, Aksai I don't think they're going to come out. Americans are not putting boots on the ground. They're putting ships in water now.
Okay. आशीष जैन साहब, थैंक यू. इंग्लैंड में जो ड्रामे हो रहे हैं, क्या ISI इन्वॉल्व है उसमें? थैंक यू.
No, I don't think ISI has anything to do with it. See, I have said this, the left and the Islamists are the best of friends and they are the worst of enemies once they get into power. That is what you're seeing in UK. The left came to power with the Islamists and now they are out to outdo each other. That is what is happening in UK and that is what will happen in Bangladesh also.
सो गाइस, आई वांटेड टू शो यू, ये राजा साहब ने तो एक बड़ा अच्छा सा बॉम्ब फेंका ना आज हमारे ऊपर कि भाई पाकिस्तानी एक अरेस्ट हो गया। मैं बोला, एक मैंने वो डिग आउट कर लिया है, मैं बोला आपको आर्टिकल दिखाई देता हूँ, न्यूयॉर्क टाइम्स में है। वी विल नॉट गो थ्रू द एंटायर आर्टिकल बट वी विल एटलीस्ट शो यू द हेडलाइंस। इट्स सो नाइस टू सी दैट, है ना? ये देखो,
Yeah,
आहा!
yeah, yeah.
पाकिस्तान
I
अरेस्ट
know.
मैन ओवर डिसइन्फॉर्मेशन दैट हेल्प्ड स्पर यूके रायट्स। आय हाय
UK
हाय!
riots.
कितनी गंदी बात है ये। वी कंडेम दिस राजा जी, आपके थ्रू और इस चैनल के थ्रू हम लोग अपनी कंडेमनेशन भेजते हैं। ये गलत बात है, ऐसे काम
बिल्कुल
नहीं होने।
सर, तभी तो पाकिस्तानियों को यूएई से जूते मार के निकालते हैं। वो बोलते हैं कि यहाँ गन मचाते हैं। They make these political comments and they make things bad for us. We don't want.
Okay, Ashish ji, once again you say thank you. How dangerous do you see terrorism growing in Bangladesh for us?
See, it is going to be a challenge. It is going to be a potent challenge, but it is not something that we cannot handle. We are already aware of it. The players who are playing this, where this whole game is being played for, we are holding our cards close to our chest. And yes, it is going to be a potent problem. Look, I'm not downplaying the potential explosion of terrorism from Bangladesh. I'm not downplaying it at all. I have always said that it's a challenge, it's a potent challenge. But I think we are pretty much in control of dealing with it as we have dealt with the Pakistanis also. It's not that we have been caught unawares with this. We knew what was happening.
Yeah.
We have talked about it many times.
Pakistan is saying that they are renegotiating deals of CPEC coal plants with China, where local coal will be used and China will relent. Your views?
That is exactly what the Chinese are saying. No, the Chinese companies are saying no. The problem is not about coal. The problem is about the outstanding money on the electric, on these power stations, which Pakistan owes to these Chinese companies. They have wrapped up the plants and they're not producing that electricity. It's like 300 billion Pakistani rupees, more than that. That amount is outstanding and they're asking a rollover every year. So it's not viable for the Chinese. The Chinese are saying no, thank you very much.
पिछले साल एक बिलियन वापस मांग लिया था ना, ओए गिव मी 1 बिलियन बैक।
हाँ, तो वो तो सऊदीज ने भी इनके साथ किया था ना, आपको याद नहीं है? That was when Imran Khan was there, no?
But that was really, really, really amazing. I mean, you it.
Yeah, so Chinese are giving them danda after danda.
Okay. Manov-san, you say US opposes jihadis in the Middle East, but supports them in South Asia. Why? Untenable dichotomy proven in Arab Osama move.
See, dekho, US will oppose jihadis where they work against US interest and will support jihadis where it's work in their interest. US was supporting jihadis in Middle East till they were fighting the Syrians. Right? The moment the tables turned, they started opposing. So it's a game the US plays and any other country plays. So you with them and they're with you, you're against them and they're against you. It depends on where the wind is blowing. That's what Americans do. They created all this game.
Molloy Saab says, can some country play a dirty game with the US?
See, essentially, the dirty game is being played. No, it is being played with the US. No, first the Pakistanis played a dirty game. The Pakistanis played a very, very dirty game with them in Afghanistan. The US could not understand what happened to them. But then the US turned the tables around. The Chinese have played the same dirty game with them in Middle East. In Israel, we are seeing what is happening. The Russians have played a dirty game with them in Syria. So it's a dirty game all around. It can turn on to anybody, anytime.
VSG साहब कहते हैं दो भाई 1971 में मार काट करके अलग हुए और अब गले मिल रहे हैं। ये क्या भाई मिलाप हो रहा है?
नहीं होगा. See, this is a mistake. We are thinking that they're aligning with the Pakistan. Their ideology is Islamist, but they are not going. They will despise Pakistan. They can't. They will not be able to stand Pakistanis. They will not be doing anything with the Pakistanis.
Because both of them, remember,
it's just that
a superior race, right?
See, the problem is both these brothers understand something. What has happened is that both these brothers were cancerous. And now what has happened is that cancerian mutation has happened and they have given birth to another cancerous mutaceous Bangladesh. That is what has happened. Nothing else has happened.
And last one for the evening, Shah Saab कहते हैं, last podcast I had asked about an ISI chief in London and his connection to Imran filing nomination papers for the Oxford. In some media reports, he was there to sabotage and current arrest of some YouTubers. Might I add something? The Pakistanis this time are very, very upset with the British ambassador, some lady called Jane Marriott, meeting with people here and there. Now, funny thing I'll tell you about Jane Marriott. Jane Marriott is like the UK's, dirty job lady. जब सीरिया में आग लगी थी उसको भेजा था, इराक में आग लगी थी उसको भेजा था, जहां पे आग लगती है ना वहां पर इसको भेजते हैं. ये क्या हो रहा है सब कुछ?
See, if you remember, I said last time that the DG ISI went to London secretly, right? Imran is going for Oxford. That is a push the Muslim Brotherhood and the Pakistani PTI overseas lobby is trying to do for him. Jane Marriott ka problem ye hai, see, UK is aligned with the Muslim Brotherhood ideology Islamists. They are not aligned with the other side, right? They will support what the MB lobby in UK will ask them to do. See, the Muslim Brotherhood could never gain hold in Middle East. They lost in Middle East, they lost in Egypt. But they were able to successfully penetrate into the Western world. And why Imran is being backed there is because Imran is their candidate. I've been saying this for the last 2 years. Imran Khan is a Muslim Brotherhood backed candidate in Pakistan. And that is the only reason Imran has not been taken care of the way others have been taken care of. So ISI chief could have been there. ISI chief could have tried to get after the YouTubers. I know who YouTuber you're talking about. You're talking about Adil Raja. But no, he didn't go there to ISI chief will not go to get hold of a YouTuber. Please understand this. This dirty job will be done by some low-level officer. So don't make these YouTubers so big.
Yeah, I mean,
but he might have gone to give them. He might have gone to give them. Oops, so sorry. He might have gone to give UK government some proof against these that how they are creating trouble in Pakistan. But then I don't think UK is in a mood to hand over these jihadis to Pakistan. UK will not do that because UK has its own interest to play.
Wait. Hello, koi baat.
My camera is.
We are at the end of the show. So, anyways, thank you so much, sir, for joining us. Interesting podcast and interesting times for Pakistan. Thoda sa dekhna padega, and it's something that we will have to keep a track of going forward. Thanks, guys, for signing in.
We'll have to keep a track on them. We'll have to keep a track on the Bangladeshis. We have too much on our plate to keep a track on, sir. But a lot of things are happening there.
करेंगे अभी तो एक आधा बॉम्ब और फटने वाला है आसपास. Don't worry. With that note,
let's leave it for the next time.
Yeah. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you. Jai Hind.